Yo guys, what is going on? It's Luki here and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking through the top 10 Warzone class setups on Modern Warfare, and later on today or earlier, I've probably already posted a multiplayer version of this if you guys are wondering, or it might be up tomorrow, depending on, just depending on however I feel that day, but yeah, just stay on the lookout for that. There will be a multiplayer one up either already or very soon or tomorrow. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into these class setups. We are almost at 35,000 subscribers, by the way, so if anyone is new to the channel and wants to help a brother hit 35,000 subs, it'd be much appreciated if you guys could drop a sub. Anyway, without further ado, sorry for the long intro, let's go ahead and get straight into these class setups. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Kilo 141. As you guys know, this Kilo is very good. Now, my Kilo class is a bit different to a lot of people's, and that is the reason because it doesn't have a sight on it, but a lot of people like having a sight on it. So if you guys want to have a sight on it, you can swap the TAC laser and instead use the VLK 3x OPTIC, which in my opinion is the best sight to use on this weapon, but it's completely up to you what sight you guys want to use. But in my opinion, I would swap the TAC laser with a sight if you guys want a sight, but for me personally, I actually really like the iron sights and I think they're quite clean and easy to use, so I like to use a TAC laser instead. Anyway, as a standard, you're going to need the monolithic suppressor on every single weapon in this video. We got the longest barrel, of course, a 19.8 inch Prowler, commanded foregrip and 60 round mags. This weapon is what a lot of people are calling the new meta. Now, ever since the GRAU nerf, a lot of people have swapped to this weapon, and a lot of people have started to use it, and in my opinion, it is definitely one of the top weapons you can be using at the moment. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the secondary I use on most of my classes, which is going to be the MP5. Now, for the MP5, I use the monolithic integral suppressor, TAC laser, PERK, and I use the 30 round mags with sleight of hand. This is one of the weapons I swap to. Let's say, for example, I'm in a close combat gunfight. I use all my ammo in my Kilo. I don't have enough time to reload, so I quickly swap weapons to the MP5, and these are the attachments I use on every single MP5 class. So if ever I have a overkill class, I will show you guys all my classes in this video, but if ever I have an overkill class that has an MP5 as a secondary, these are going to be the attachments I use. So screenshot this right now if you guys want to take a picture or whatever you guys want to do, but this in my opinion is going to be one of the best MP5 classes you can be using. Now I want to quickly touch up on the perks I use and lethal etc. I use on every single class. I use cold-blooded, or sometimes I use EOD. It's completely up to you. These are probably two of the most popular ones right now. Cold-blooded to stay off people's thermal scopes etc, because a lot of people still use thermal scopes on snipers, and then EOD to obviously take reduced C4 damage, because a lot of people use C4s, so EOD is definitely going to be really helpful as well. Overkill, obviously to have two weapons, or if you don't want to use two weapons, you can use a Ghost instead if you want to stay off the minimap, but I don't really mind showing up on the minimap anymore, and a lot of people don't actually use Ghost anymore. Next up, we got Amped. Amped is obviously good for swapping weapons faster. So let's say, for example, once again, I'm in a close combat gunfight. I used all my Kilo bullets up. I don't have time to reload. So what I have to do instead is quickly swap my weapons, and I can finish them off with my MP5. So that, in my opinion, is definitely one of the best, what's it called? Perk 3s you can use. Anyway, lethal, C4 of course, and then tactical is a heartbeat sensor, or sometimes I do use a stun as well, just because a stun's actually quite good. You can get easy kills with stuns, but the lethal and tactical are completely up to you, but those two are my favourite to use. Next up, we're going to be using the M4A1. As you guys know, the M4A1's been one of the top weapons ever since the release of the game, and it still is a very good weapon. So we've got the mono suppressor once again, of course. We've got commando foregrip, 60 mags, stock M16 Grenadier barrel, and then we've got the combat holo sight. Now, if you guys have a special variant with the nice iron sights on it, you can use those iron sights instead and don't use a sight. That's what I do. But a lot of people don't have the iron sights that have really nice iron sights on it. So you guys might have to use a sight instead. But if you do have a variant that has a nice iron sight on it, then you can use that instead and stick on tack laser or maybe stable grip tape or something as your other attachment instead of a sight. Once again, on this class setup, as you guys can see, I would use an MP5 as my secondary with all the other attachments I used on the other class. Same perks, lethals, etc. These ones aren't the same, but yeah, you guys know what I mean. And then once again, we got the ODEN, beautiful weapon. I don't know why I have the monolithic suppressor on. I should have the Colossus suppressor on, but the Colossus suppressor, ODEN factory, 810mm barrel, commander foregrip, 30 mags, granulated grip tape. Now I'm not gonna lie, this weapon is one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. In my opinion, it's one of the best weapons in the game. It is so powerful. It's one of the highest damage weapons in the game. However, a lot of people don't like it because of the fact that it has insanely slow mobility, and it is going to take you around about 40 years to ADS. But if you can get that quick ADS down and get your shots on target fast, you guys aren't going to have any problem at all with this weapon. Now, this, in my opinion, is one of the most, like, you're going to need an MP5 with this weapon. It's a must-have. So as you can see, of course, I got the MP5 with the same attachments on once again. And in my opinion, the ODEN matched up with the MP5, it is one of the best combinations you can use. The ODEN has sniper-like range, it's got high damage, it's insane. And then you got the MP5 for those close combat gunfights, or if you guys need to finish off an enemy. So it is a very good class setup. This is, I'm not sure why I've got some random ones on. These I am in custom games just so I don't have to change all my class setups up. And I think I've got some old class setup perks on from doing mini games, but just ignore those. Those here are all of the perks and lethals I use. Next up, we've got the new AN94. This thing is nasty. It doesn't have much recoil at all. We've got the mono suppressor, we've got the factory barrel, we got the VLK 3x optic, commander foregrip, and then a 60-round casket mag. This thing is nuts. It feels good. It feels good. Now I'm not gonna lie, it looks a bit weird. The magazine is a little bit wonky, but this weapon is actually really good. If you guys have not used it yet, it's basically in between like the M13 and the Kilo, and it's really nice. It's really nice. It's got not much recoil at all, and its class setup is perfect. Once again, MP5 as the secondary. M13 on the next one here, a weapon that not many people like, but in my opinion, I really do like it. So, monolithic suppressor, Tempest Marksman. Wait, no, is that the right one? Tempest Marksman. Yeah, that's the right one. Merc foregrip, 60 mags, and the BLK 3x optic. Now you're probably noticing a little bit of similarity with a lot of these class setups, and yeah, a lot of them are very similar in the fact that you're going to want the same kind of attachments on. So obviously, on all my weapons, I like to use the monolithic suppressor, I use the longest barrel, and I use the VLK 3x optic. I use the highest amount of ammo you can, and then I use some kind of underbarrel, but they do obviously swap every now and then with the attachments, but most of them are kind of similar with this kind of setup here, because that is the best. MP5 is the secondary once again, of course, and then the perks, etc. This one, we got the GRAU. You guys know, the GRAU. The GRAU is still king. It got a nerf, but let's be real, did it really get a nerf? I don't think so. Monolithic suppressor, Archangel, tack laser, 60 mags, commander foregrip, the class everyone has been using ever since the beginning of this game. But yeah, this is probably still the best class. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably still the best class you can be using. MP5 secondary, all of that kind of stuff again. Next up, got the Bruen MK9. Nasty. This weapon is nasty. It's like an assault rifle, but it's actually an LMG, and it's just really good. It is a beautiful weapon. Mono suppressor, summit barrel, VLK 3x optic, surprise, 60 mags, commando foregrip. 60 mags is probably one of the most important attachments you can use. Don't you dare think about using the 200 round barrel. Please do not use the 200 bullets. Just don't. 60 round mags is 10 times better. Next up, we've got the PKM. Monolithic suppressor, 26.9 extended barrel, commander foregrip, 150 bout, and we've got the 3x OPTIC sight once again, of course, and MP5, bloody bloody bloody, all the same kind of stuff. And then lastly, well no, second to last, we've got the MP5 class, mono suppressor, recon barrel, tac laser, 60 mags, Merc foregrip, laser beam, no recoil, long range. This weapon is really good. Now as a secondary for this class, it's already an SMG, so in my opinion, as a secondary, I like to use a sniper, and whenever I do use a sniper in Warzone, this is the class setup I use. Mono suppressor on the HDR, longest barrel, tac laser, variable zoom scope, and a sleight of hand. So that is the MP7 class setup there with the HDR as well. Next up, P90. Yes, P90. Once again, if I use the P90, I use the HDR class as my secondary. P90. You guys are probably thinking, the P90, what? This thing is actually pretty nice. It's actually a lot better than a lot of you guys seen. Like, a lot of you guys, I never see anyone talk about this weapon, but it's really good. It's got no recoil, a lot of bullets, and it's really, really nice. So, stipple grip take ×2, tac laser, retribution stock, monolithic suppressor. There we have it, guys. There is my 10 class setups for Warzone. Give them a go. Let me know how you think. Let me know what you think about them down below. Make sure to leave your class setup down below, and maybe I will review it. But yeah, that's been it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.